Right now, tens of thousands of Australian age pensioners are travelling overseas without fully understanding what is happening to their pension payments, and some of them are in for a very unpleasant surprised when they get home. Here is something that will stop you in your tracks. Serious, the Australian federal government just announced a major rule change in the May 2026 federal budget, one that affects around 92,000 age pension recipients who travel overseas. And yet, most people receiving the pension have absolutely no idea this change is coming or what it means for their fortnightly payments. If you have ever dreamed of spending a few months with family overseas or taking that long holiday you have been putting off for years, you need to understand what happens to your age pension at the 6-week mark, the 12-week mark, and the 26-week mark. Because each of those 3 points triggers something different, and if you cross the wrong threshold without being prepared, it could cost you real money. Welcome. If this is your first time here, this channel is Centrelink Pension Bulletin, and we are here every week to help everyday Australians understand their pension entitlements in plain, simple language. No jargon, no confusion, just the facts you need. So let us get straight into it. First, the good news. Your age pension is portable. That means you can generally continue receiving it while you are overseas, as long as you continue to meet the qualification rules. You are not simply cut off the moment you board a plane, but the amount you receive can change depending on how long you are away. The Centrelink rules for overseas absences are built around 3 key time thresholds: 6 weeks, 26 weeks, and longer-term residence. Each threshold triggers a different set of changes, and from September 2026, there is now a 12-week threshold to understand as well. So let us walk through each one together. The first milestone is the 6-week mark. For absences of 6 weeks or less, your age pension continues at the full rate, your supplements stay at full rate, and your pensioner concession card remains active. Nothing changes. You can spend up to 42 days visiting family in Italy, traveling through Greece, or staying with grandchildren in England, and when you come home, your pension will look exactly the same as when you left. But what if your trip runs a little longer than planned? Right now, once you pass 6 weeks overseas, some of your extra payments change. Once you hit the 6-week point, your payment rate is immediately reduced to the outside Australia rate. You will lose the energy supplement, and your pension supplement will be reduced to the basic rate. Now, what exactly is the pension supplement? The pension supplement is a fortnightly amount that helps cover the cost of prescriptions, telephone and internet connections, energy, water and sewerage. The full rate is currently $86.50 per fortnight for singles and $65.20 per person for couples. Over a longer trip, losing part of that supplement adds up. And losing your energy supplement on top of that adds up even more. But here is the exciting news. The part of this story that most people have not heard yet. The federal government has announced it will increase the time pensioners can spend overseas from 6 to 12 weeks before their pension supplement is impacted. This change kicks in from September 20th, 2026. So from the 20th of September this year, you will have a full 12 weeks, 3 full months, before your pension supplement starts being affected. That is double the previous allowance. The new rule gives you a full 3 months before anything changes. Around 68,000 recipients who travel for between 6 and 12 weeks each year will receive higher payments because of this. Now you might be asking, what about the pensioner concession card? Will that also extend to 12 weeks? Your pensioner concession card will still cancel after you have been temporarily overseas for 6 weeks. That part has not changed. So even under the new rules, your concession card will still pause at the 6-week mark. When you return home, however, it will be reinstated automatically. Now let us move to the 12-week mark. because this is where things shift again. After 12 weeks of traveling overseas, pensioners will see their pension supplement stop altogether. If they are moving overseas permanently, their supplement will stop immediately upon departure. So to be clear, from September 2026, for the first 12 weeks overseas, you keep your full pension supplement. From week 13 onward, that supplement stops for the rest of your trip. Your base age pension, however, continues to come. This is an important distinction. What changes at the 6 and 12-week marks is the extra supplements on top of your base pension, not the pension itself. The core payment keeps coming. Many people do not realize this, and it is worth knowing before you panic. Now we come to the most significant milestone of all, and this one has the biggest financial impact of everything we have discussed, the 26-week mark. If your overseas period extends past 6 months, 26 weeks, you transition from a temporary absence to a long-term absence, and the rules change dramatically. Once you have been outside Australia for more than 26 weeks, your pension is adjusted according to your Australian working life residence. That is the number of years you were an Australian resident between age 16 and pension age, with a maximum of 35 years. Here is the key number, 35 years. If you were an Australian resident for 35 years or more, the amount you receive will generally not change, regardless of whether you worked or paid tax during that time. So if you grew up in Australia and spent most of your life here, you are well protected past the 26-week mark. But if you came to Australia later in life or spent significant years living overseas during your working years, this is where it gets serious. For those with less than 35 years of residency, the age pension is reduced proportionally. For example, if you were a resident for 10 years, you will receive 10/35 of your usual rate. 10/35. That is less than a third of your normal pension. If you normally receive around $1,100 a fortnight, you could find yourself receiving only around $314. That is a very significant reduction, and one that could genuinely affect how you live while overseas. Here's a question worth asking yourself right now. Do you know exactly how many years of Australian residency Centrelink has on record for you? If you are not certain, it is well worth checking, because that number could make an enormous difference to your finances if you plan to stay overseas for more than 6 months. There is also a trap that catches people by surprise, and it is called the 2-year portability rule. If you start receiving the age pension and then travel overseas within 2 years of returning to live in Australia, your payments may cease altogether. This catches more people than you would expect. So if you moved back to Australia from overseas, recently claimed the age pension, and are now thinking of heading off again, please speak to Centrelink first before you book your flights. Now let us talk about the one obligation many pensioners overlook, and getting this wrong can cause real headaches. You must tell Services Australia before you leave Australia. If your Centrelink online account is linked to MyGov, you can tell them about your travel plans online. You can also use your online account to get information on how your travel could affect your payments and concession cards. If you cannot use an online account, a phone call to Centrelink will do the job. Even though immigration data may be shared automatically, pensioners remain responsible for notifying Centrelink of their plans. Do not assume they will simply figure it out on their own. Failure to report changes in travel status may give rise to repaying, disallowance, or recovery of an overpayment. Nobody wants to come home to a debt letter after a lovely trip overseas. One more thing worth knowing: when you return to Australia, the supplements are reinstated at their full rates. So even if your pension supplement dropped while you were away, it goes straight back to normal once you are home. That is a reassuring fact to keep in mind. Now let us bring it all together simply and clearly. Until September 20th, 2026, up to 6 weeks overseas, everything stays the same. From week 7 onward, your pension supplement drops and your energy supplement stops. After 26 weeks, your base pension may reduce based on your Australian residency years.
From September 20th, 2026 onward, you now have 12 weeks before your pension supplement is affected. not 6. That is the new rule. After 12 weeks, the supplement stops entirely. The 26-week base pension rule stays the same. Your pensioner concession card still pauses at 6 weeks regardless of the new rules. Always notify Centrelink before you travel for more than 6 weeks. Check how many years of Australian residency are on your Centrelink record if you plan on staying more than 6 months. And be very careful about the 2-year rule if you recently returned to Australia before claiming your pension. These are the facts that could save you real money and make your retirement travel so much smoother. Thank you so much for watching today's video here on Centrelink Pension Bulletin. If this was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more Australians find this information when they need it most. Share it with a friend or family member who receives the age pension and loves to travel. They will genuinely thank you for it. Leave your questions in the comments below. We read every single one. And coming up next, what actually happens to your age pension if you decide to move overseas permanently? It is a topic many Australians in retirement are thinking about right now, and the rules are quite different from what most people assume. You will not want to miss it. Until then, take care of yourselves and travel well.